What's up guys, Jason Ma the Magician, and welcome back to the 365 Days of Magic Challenge, day number 82. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you 5 ways to shuffle playing cards that will make you look like a pro in no time. The best thing about these shuffles is that they're actually all entry-level beginner shuffles, but they still look incredible. So once you master them, you will look like an absolute professional at the card table, and it's only going to take you like 5 minutes to learn how to do them. The 5 different shuffles that I'm going to teach you include the one-handed Charlier cut, the standard riffle shuffle, the thumb fan, the overhand shuffle, and last but not least, the ribbon spread, baby. You'll also get to do this cool little flourishy move with it, huh? Now before we dive into the how-to shuffles, I need to do today's magic trick, so join me. Alright, today's trick is going to be using the jokers, baby, and for this we get a card selected at random, and to do it I think we just cut into the center of the pack, and whatever card we get is what we use. In this case, the 2 of spades. That's going to be left sticking out of the center of the deck so that you can keep your eyes on it, and all you've got to do is watch the jokers, okay? There's no sticky stuff, there's nothing in between the jokers. If you were here, you could genuinely check these out to your heart's content, and then we just place them on the table. That's 1, that's 2, and when I square that 2 into the center like this, all I have to do is snap the fingers, and all of a sudden, with a little gust of wind, 1 card will have traveled in between the 2 jokers. We've got 1 joker, the 2 of spades, and the 2nd joker. The best thing is that this trick doesn't use any duplicates, and you truly could have signed that card if you were here. Now with that out of the way, make sure that you smash like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, man. I'm making content every single day for the whole year of 2023, so you might as well join in for the journey, you know what I'm saying? Now, the very first shuffle I'm going to teach you is the riffle shuffle. I feel like this is the one that people want to learn the most, so I figure why not start off with it, yeah? So join me in tutorial view. Tutorial view is just me standing up, basically. So to do the shuffle, what you're going to do is you're going to grab the deck like this, right? I'm grabbing it I'm just holding it long edges like this. I'm then going to curl my pointer finger back so that these 3 fingers are still contacting the bottom edge of the deck, my thumb on the top. This one curls underneath, and I'm going to work my fingers up so that I can eventually kind of grab it like this. Now you should be able to hold that deck just in this grip like this, and then you're going to curl the pointer underneath so that you can use your thumb to sort of riffle the cards like this, yeah? This is acting as like a pivot point for the cards to riffle against. Now that seems easy enough. Once you get this grip here like this, you're just going to do this. You're going to riffle along until you get to about half. You're going to have your hand palm up. Let these fall, okay? So I'm going to open my fingers, and now what's happening is that my thumb is holding this packet against these fingers. I'm opening up my fingers, allowing the cards that I've riffled off to fall like this into my other palm, and then I'm going to lever them up into essentially the same grip. So now I'm going to have both packets in the same grip, and I'm going to be trying to riffle them like this. All right? So that seems nice and easy. And again, you should be able to hold both packets like this. You should be able to turn your hands around and hold them like this. And then you're going to put those fingers behind so you have a point to riffle around. Now, once you can actually do this, if you can actually just do this, the next step is actually a lot easier. All you're going to do is bring the cards like this. You're just going to turn your hands, still maintaining that strong grip. Turn them like this. You're just going to do this, only you're going to do this in close proximity so that eventually they'll all intersect like that. Now that second part, the bridge, once you've got this point here where you have the cards riffling together, I do have a small piece of advice for that as well, yeah? So when you take the cards and you do this, you actually want to, I don't know if you can see here, but I'm holding them on an angle here so that the corners will go together. If you try to hold them flat so that all the faces go together like this, it's actually much more difficult and it doesn't even look as good. So what you want to do is you want to turn the decks like this, yeah, and then have the corners interweave like so. From here, I just push those then together like so. And now for the bridge, what you're going to do is once you've got these cards like this, you should still have them in that same grip essentially. Only now you're just going to readjust so that all your fingers are turned around, your thumbs are on top, and you're going to bend the deck like this using your thumbs. If you don't have your thumbs here and you bend the deck, the cards will shoot up everywhere. So when you get the riffle here, you riffle like this. I then push them together so they're flat. My fingers then bend the deck. My thumb's holding everything together here like this. And when I'm ready for the cards to fall together, I'm going to just open these fingers, and you can see it kind of just happens automatically. And with practice, you'll get that looking more and more smooth to the point where you'll just be able to do this in a moment's notice. And that right there is the RIFFLE Shuffle, baby. So there you have it, the RIFFLE Shuffle. It's a little knacky, but I think you'll get the hang of it if you just follow the steps. As long as you stick with that, RIFFLE grip like this, you shouldn't have any problems in getting the initial interlacing of the cards. Now, up next on the chopping block is the thumb fan, baby. A classic flourish. Everybody loves the thumb fan, and it's not hard to learn at all. It's super easy, barely an inconvenience, huh? Now, for the thumb fan, what you're going to do is you're going to want to grip the deck like this. You can see my index finger just up here, and my middle finger here is like contacting like midway, like halfway along the deck, you can see. And my thumb is just kind of in the most natural way to hold the deck to stop the cards from falling. That's the best way to explain it. It's like roughly in the center-ish. Now from here, my thumb, on the other hand, the pad of it is just going to go to the upmost corner here, opposite end from this finger, upmost corner, and I'm just going to drag that around. Literally, I just drag it around in a circular motion. And honestly, truthfully, that is how you do the thumb fan. As long as you hold it like this, right? Don't try and like hold it like this or something and drag it around because you're not going to be able to do it. You want to hold it like this because it gives you the most range before you hit your palm again. You see what I mean? So you can get a nice big even spread. Now, the advice that I have for you here is use like bicycle standard playing cards or like a good quality deck. Try to avoid using like plastic cards or papery cards because they just don't have a nice finish and they won't spread as easy, and you're going to make your learning experience much more difficult. So once again, just grip it like this, thumb to the corner, and just drag it around in a circular motion. That's literally all there is to it. It's so easy. Comment below if you manage to get it first try. Now up next is one that's going to make you look like an absolute pro. Okay, it's crazy. It's called the Charlier cut, a one-handed cut using just your fingers to manipulate the cards. Yeah, this one's going to be maybe the more difficult one of all of them, but I think you'll get it in no time because I have faith in you. All right, so to do the Charlier cut, firstly, I recommend you just use half of the deck to learn and to practice, okay? It's much easier with less cards. And the second thing is you're going to start off by holding the deck in this perfectly natural position. This is called dealer's grip, 3 fingers along this edge, thumb resting along the other edge, and then pointer at the front to stop the cards from sliding forward, yeah? Now, when you're ready to do the cut, you're just going to work your pinky around to the back like this, and then I just kind of like with the pinky and the pointer finger, I just kind of shift the deck, okay? I'm using them to hold the deck more or less, and then I shift it so it's no longer being held on my palm. It's not flat. If I turn my hand over, you can see I'm still holding it. The thumb is free to do whatever it wants, and I have a pretty good grip on it. Now, when you're ready to do the cut from this position, your thumb is going to plant onto the cards, and as much thumb as you place on it is as much cards as you'll get. So if you use the point or the tip of your thumb, you'll get a lot less cards, yeah? If you use the pad of your thumb, you'll all of a sudden start lifting up a lot more cards, you see? So the tip will give you just a little, the pad will get you a lot more, and you can kind of just like feel the amount of cards that you're going to lift off. I recommend just using, trying to get about half the deck. It's usually the best way to go. So once you lift up half the deck, you're just going to push it forward, and you can see I'm still holding everything. I push it forward, and when I'm ready to actually cut the cards, I'm just going to move my pointer finger here. So I slightly tilt the deck back so that everything's resting on my pinky, they won't fall anywhere, and then I just move my pointer finger out of the way. You'll see this packet just falls flat onto my hand, and now I'm going to curl that pointer finger under to the corner of that bottom pack, and I'm just going to start pushing with it, okay? I'm going to push it all the way up until it hits my thumb that's holding this packet. And then I'm going to like just keep going. I'm going to keep going beyond that. This is just going to fall onto my pointer finger. I keep pushing, and then I'll get to a point where I can actually tilt my hand kind of this way, allowing that packet now to fall onto my thumb. You see, I can open it all the way up. This now allows me to kind of like get my pointer finger out of there, and everything's just going to fall. And then once you're in this position, all you have to do is close it like a book. And that's it. So in all quick succession, I'm holding it like this. I lift up a portion of cards. Pointer finger's going to move out of the way. This falls into place. I then push, 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 and then I keep pushing, and then I'm just going to let it rest against my thumb as I get my pointer finger out of there, and I just close it like the pages of a book. So there you have it, the Charlier cut. Now, in addition to practicing with just half of the deck, I also recommend that you practice using a deck that maybe is a little bit older and isn't so slippery, you know what I mean? Like the cards aren't sliding around. This is going to help you to practice without the sort of individual cards sliding off while you're trying to learn the cut. So that's just my advice, but you can do whatever you want, dude. Now up next is the overhand style shuffle. This is probably the most common shuffle used by people all over the world, and you're going to learn it right now. Now you can see it just looks like this. What's happening are cards are just essentially being tossed off of the top of the deck like this, and I'm just throwing them into my hand. Now to do it, you're going to grip the deck in this position again where your fingers are on the shorter edges of the deck like so, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to have my other hand palm up, and I'm just going to, with a bit of inertia, if I flick like this, I'm going to release a little bit of pressure from the top, and a block of cards is just going to swing off. You see that? So I'm just going to let a block of cards swing off. My thumb is going to guide those cards to make sure that they don't go anywhere else other than just my hand. You see that? So I'm throwing them in there, I'm grabbing them with the thumb. Right, and I'm just doing this in repetition. So I'm literally just going to use inertia to fling off a bit of cards. Thumb's going to grab those, pull away, come over the top again. My thumb opens up, allowing the cards to once again be thrown in there again. And I'm able to just do this continuously. I'm able to just repeat this process over and over again. Now, a small piece of advice is when you're practicing, try doing it slow. Just bring it in, let a few cards fall, use your thumb to sort of grab those, and then just kind of practice like this. Yeah, where you're just going to allow the cards to fall. You can also see I'm getting my finger out of the way. I'm kind of just using two fingers. This is allowing me to, you know, not have a finger mash where the cards are getting, like fingers are getting in the way of the cards and stuff like that. So I'm just going to gradually peel them like this. It's good to practice slow. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And as long as you remember that, you'll be a master of the overhand shuffle in like 5 minutes. All right, now last on the chopping block is the ribbon spread, okay? The ribbon spread is an incredibly satisfying move, and let me show you right now. So look at how satisfying this is. You can drag the cards around like this, you get this beautiful spread. But the real satisfying part is that you're able to then take the spread and have it flip over very smoothly. It's a very aesthetically pleasing move, and you're gonna learn it right now. Now, in order to do the ribbon spread, what you want to do is you want to have your fingers gripping the deck like this, okay? So it's going to be sitting flat on the table. Thumb goes to the closest edge towards yourself, and then these three fingers curl around the other short edge on the other side, and this pointer finger is going to like lazily hang over the deck like this. Now, I say lazily because you don't want to have it, you know, strong there. You want it to be really loosely there, and you're going to press down on the deck with like the palm up here, like this area of your hand up here. You're going to press down on the deck like this. So it's pressing down, you can see here, and this is loosely here. And what's going to happen, the reason why it's so loose, you can see is now I drag the cards back, they kind of start to spread. And this loose hanging pointer finger is actually going to be the reason why, it's going to be the reason why the cards are spreading one by one neatly. So we grab it in the grip, press down, lazily hang it over, and just let this finger sort of slowly release as you push the cards along, yeah? Now, as you pull the cards back, okay, you are going to have to gradually open your whole hand so that you can get closer to the table and keep that spread going, but the spread should more or less work on its own. Now, some advice that I do have is it's best to do it on like carpet or a felt table like this or something. You know, you don't want to do it on a table that's too smooth because it'll be all choppy. Now, once you get a feel for the spread and you can kind of evenly spread the cards like this, what you want to try and do next is the turnover where you flip the cards over in a single motion like this. Now, to do this is not as hard as you would think. If you can get a nice even spread like this, all you have to do is just get your fingers under that topmost card. To do it, I press down with my thumb on the spread. That way I can like lift the card up without the rest of the spread getting messed up. So what I mean by that is if I spread the cards like this and I try to just pick this card up, there's a chance that the cards can like shift like this. So to avoid that, I'm just going to place my thumb on the spread, and that way I can grab this card, and then I get my fingers underneath it, and I'm just going to lift it, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm lifting it and making sure it doesn't lose contact with the table. Like this card at the very end here, I don't want it to lose contact with the table, so I'm just going to like lift it carefully and turn it over, and I'm kind of pressing it down to the table so that it remains in place. And then once you get to here, you can actually just literally throw the cards over. Like it'll pretty much just be self-working, and you can sit there and you can like play with it like this. Whee! See? How cool is that, man? It's like so self-working. You can run your finger along it like this for an added effect. You can get a nice big spread on the cards like this. You pick the cards up, you spread them along, then you can like split that spread like this and do like a cool double spready thing. There's just so many things you can do with it. It's just an extremely satisfying thing to play with. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. This one here was for my viewers that aren't really magicians, you know what I mean? The people that maybe just wanted to have something that they could play with. Also, an added bonus is that doing these like shuffles is a great way to like reduce stress or anxiety. It's just like a nice fidget to have, you know, like this is like a fidget, and it's a fidget that kind of makes you look cool, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I'll see you tomorrow for day number 83, baby.
Call me Bucky, lucky that I'm innocent. If I didn't have no morals, I'd be menacing.